Blah, blah, blah. I don't care what you have to say. I'm not listening to you. I don't care and don't want to learn what you have to say. You know people like that? Or maybe you were like that? That's what's called blissful ignorance, where you try to convince someone of something. You try to give them some sort of information and they block it out. They tune it out. They don't want to know. That's what we're talking about in today's video. So hello everyone, my name is Autumn Asphodel and I am a coach to help you live your best life and find your true purpose. And you can schedule a free consultation over at autumasphodel.com/coaching. And today's topic is about blissful ignorance. What can you do to people who put their fingers in their ears and turn the other way and don't want to listen? So enjoy the video. Have you had a friend that is unwilling to look at any information you give them? What about a parent that you keep urging to eat healthier because it would help with their chronic medical conditions, but they are unwilling to listen to you? Or maybe even you recognize that you turn a blind eye to important things because it's too hard to think about. This is called blissful ignorance. Blissful ignorance is when someone is unwilling to learn about things that are upsetting. Think of it like putting your fingers in your ears to block out what someone is telling you because it's more comforting to stick with what you know, or rather what you don't know. An example is telling someone that their favorite food is actually causing them chronic health conditions such as diabetes, heart disease, and even cancer. They don't want to know the truth because it's too hard to come to terms with, so they turn a blind eye and block it out, being ignorant to the facts laid before them. So if you have a family member or a friend or someone else that you really want to get information to, but they're refusing to listen to you, that can be such a difficult thing to tackle because you really deeply care about this person. But maybe your approach needs to be changed. You have to alter your approach in a way that they're able to relate to. You have to be able to get them to say yes. You have to be able to get them to start thinking for themselves, because the truth is, you cannot change anyone. You can only change yourself, and that applies to other people. They can only change themselves. They can only be the ones to learn about these things and change their mind. You can give them information all that you like, but if it goes in one ear and out the other, they're not listening to you, and you will never change them. Many people want others to think for them instead of them thinking for themselves. This is why people trust the government, their healthcare providers, and others instead of listening to their own body and for themselves. We are so heavily influenced by the opinion of others that we ignore our intuition. A good example is people who refuse to look at ingredients in their favorite food. They don't want to look at a list of unnatural man-made ingredients, food colorings, and other things. They may look, not know what the ingredients are, and continue with buying it since they refuse to look at the damage it's doing to them. They find it delicious, so no matter what the ingredients and sugar content, they'll purchase anyway, thinking it's safe since how could it not be safe when it's on the shelf and approved by the FDA? The person may suffer with chronic health conditions, but will not contribute to the food they are eating. You may show them the information about how bad the food they are eating is, but they refuse to listen to you as it goes in one ear and out the other. This type of blissful ignorance is extremely dangerous, and the unfortunate truth is that this is how most people are, having others think for them and control their every action. If you know someone like this, how can you get through to them? If you want to get through to someone who is suffering with blissful ignorance, do not be forceful. It is easy to get upset at someone for not seeing things your way and being unaware of what's going on around them. But think back to when you were ignorant. You didn't know everything you do now overnight. So get through to the person in a peaceful way instead of thinking you're the one in the right and forcing your opinion on them. When you do this, they're more likely to turn the opposite direction. Next is to tiptoe towards the disagreement. You can't jump right out and start with the topic you both disagree on. Rather, start with something that is smaller and is related that will get the person to say yes, and then question their own decisions. For instance, if someone is dealing with chronic pain and you know it's related to the food they're eating, instead of coming right out and saying that the food is bad for them and they need to eat better, Ask questions. Express your concerns for them and seek common ground, putting yourself in their shoes. Ask them if they want to feel better and listen to them. Oftentimes they do, but may not think it's possible. But you can see that they get worse every time they eat something unhealthy. Then start to ease into the topic a bit, saying that what they eat plays a big part of their overall health, and that maybe something in their diet is causing them to feel worse. They may deny it, but again, take it slowly and be calm about it, expressing your concerns. Ease into the information that will help them and say it's worth a try. It'll be better for them to see your concern rather than you being forceful about them changing their diet. Blissful ignorance affects many people, and it's quite sad to see that so many rather have someone else think for them instead of thinking for themselves. However, you can break through to them by being patient. You cannot change anyone, but you can get through to them by asking questions, things about their life which can motivate them to change. When they begin to question and their mind starts moving, they will change. So make your attempts to help them from a place of concern instead of anger and frustration. Let me know how this works for you. Have a great day. Caring is the number one thing when it comes to trying to give information to someone. If you really approach the situation, trying to talk with someone about something that you're very passionate about, that they could be being harmed with, then you have to really convince them just how much you are caring about them. Just how much do you care about them? And then from there, you can tiptoe into the thing that there may be a disagreement with, or that they're not willing to listen. Just kind of give them some hints here and there. It's like, don't you want this? Don't you want that? You want them to be able to answer yes. You want them to start having the juices flowing to their brain to get it active, get it moving, so that they can start thinking for themselves. Because you can't change them, you can never change them, but you can provide information to them. But a lot of times people are unwilling to listen to that information, so they put their fingers in their ears and they give all these different excuses as to why they don't want to learn about it. Perhaps they may say, I don't want to learn what's in my favorite food because I like this food. I don't want to know what's in it, where it came from, and all that sort of stuff because I like it. Yet it could be destroying them. It could literally be causing them to have cancer and diabetes and high blood pressure, all these sorts of health issues that you really deeply care about. You don't want to see them go through that, but they're basically killing themselves by eating this horrible food that they refuse to look at. Another excuse, maybe people will say, oh, I'm too busy to worry about that. I have all this work that I have to do. I really don't care. I just watch the news for like an hour to update me on all these sorts of things, and that's it. But they're not actually following what is the truth. They're listening to whatever the news has to say, which we all know nothing can be believed on the news. So it's very hard to get through to these people because they've been brainwashed for so long that they have a belief and an idea that is so strong that they cannot break it. And the third excuse really is something that affects a lot of us, and that is that we don't want to be wrong. We don't want to realize that something we've been doing for so long is harming us, that we've been fed lies. Imagine if you've been eating something for so many years, thinking it was healthy for you, and then you came to the realization, this is harming me. This is causing me to be very, very unhealthy. Cognitive dissonance sets in. It's a very difficult thing to deal with, but you have to be able to deal with it. So all these sorts of things can make it a challenge, but I know that if you approach it in the correct way, you can get through to these people. Be sure to check out the amazing merchandise over at Asphodel's shop for some inspiring designs. I'm sure you'll find something amazing. Also become a member. $5 up and above will get you early access to new content months before it is publicly available to anyone else. I want to thank you all so very much for tuning into this video. Let me know what your thoughts are on this. You all take care, have a great one, and I'm curious to hear it. Bye-bye.